best part of 15 months. It's a follow-on from my previous company, Players Inc. Event Management. Specialised mainly in talking events with ex-footballers, predominantly Newcastle and boxers. So over the last 7 years we've had Larry Holmes in the North East, Roy Jones Jr., Nigel Benn, Steve Collins, Mike Tyson, Joe Frazier in his very last after dinner show, Jake LaMotta. I mean, the list's endless. It's been fantastic to meet a lot of these people who've been legends to me, but also legends to a lot of people in the North East. And we've just opened that channel and allowed those people to come to the North East and meet their public. And I've had some fantastic nights, heard some fantastic stories. And it's been very rewarding, from me personally, just to meet these people. So the pro boxing's a little bit different. I've come into it in a similar way to maybe Frank Warren. I was a white collar boxing promoter for 7 years. I helped establish the EBF in Newcastle and Gateshead, and eventually into the North East. Did over 30 shows, which saw some great fights and some great names, some former professionals come back into the sport, likes of Gary Furby, John Davison, to name but two, who pulled on the gloves once more and had a go at it again, tried it out. But it also gave people an opportunity in the North East to discover boxing and to get involved and see whether they were capable of having a fight. And I can think of at least one or two pros in the Newcastle Gateshead area who started off as white collar boxers on my shows and have now turned professional. Paul O'Hagan's one, Craig Nicholson's another, and great to see that little spin-off happening. The pro game and why I got into it, simple really. I wanted to challenge myself. The white collar boxing has now been copied. There's a lot of copycat promoters out there, and some of them are putting on really good shows. I'm not quite sure what the situation is with their insurance. The EBF was covered properly. It was covered against all injuries and that kind of thing. And for me, I didn't want my good work with the white collar stuff to basically be tarnished if an accident happened or an injury occurred to somebody. And I thought the time was right to get out. I didn't want to stop promoting boxing because I thoroughly enjoy the sport. I just thought pro boxing was the way forward, and that's where we are now. Wraith Promotions has been established for 15 months, but for the last 12 months I've been a licensed professional boxing promoter in the North East, and I've enjoyed every single second of it. Yeah, I mean, Andrew Buchanan is entertainment per se. He's a top boxer, and again, the knock-on effect of me becoming a promoter in Newcastle Gateshead has seen Andrew decide to pull on the gloves once more. By his own admission, he came to my first show at the O2 Academy, and he was basically bitten by the bug again. He started training, got back in the ring, and I'm delighted that he's taken the opportunity to get involved in one of our shows again. Paul O'Hagan, he's fantastic. As I say, I watched him, in most of his 100 and odd fights in the white collar scene, became a bit of a North East legend in that scene. Started off his pro career by knocking Cash Hussein out in under 2 minutes, and he's never really looked back. He went down to Manchester, won a tough fight in the kids' backyard, and came away with that. He's had his first defeat, which is obviously going to be disappointing to him, but he came back strong in my last show, and hopefully he'll be putting in another good performance in today on Friday the 13th. But you've also got some young lads starting out on their career. Lewis Scott had his first fight away from home. This is his home debut. He's got a big following from Newbiggin. Good talent, bright kid, certainly one for the future. And boxing is about fighting, but can also be about the way you conduct yourself out the ring and about image. And Lewis has got the full package. I think he will certainly make a name for himself over the coming years. And Craig Nicholson, as I've mentioned already, he's followed me from the white collar game into the professional scene, and his second pro fight as well. It'll be good to see him fighting in front of his own fans. Young Tommy Ward, of course, is also on the show, and Tommy made his debut on one of my fights, and he's entertaining. The public love to watch him. A really good fighter, and somebody that I'm convinced will go a long way. But in this day and age with boxing, it's about getting good fights for me. It's about punters pay to see good fights, and we've had a few shocks, we've had a few home defeats on my first 4 shows. Let's hope I have the same kind of entertainment and the same kind of level of of shock factor on the Friday the 13th. So they will be weighing in at the Metro Centre. The square has yet to be confirmed, but we've just had confirmation today the Metro Centre are happy to stage the weigh-in. So that will be taken 4 o'clock. That will be open to the public and everyone will be welcome to come and see the weigh-in. For me, David Haye's going to win that. We did an after dinner event with David in May this year at the Grosvenor Casino, and you know, you can tell he's got the bit back between his teeth. He wants to win. Tyson Fury, for me, I don't think he has any chance in that fight. I think it'll all be all over in the third. I can't see past Mayweather. He's a great fighter, one of the best fighters pound for pound that's been involved in the sport for many a year. I can't see past him. I think that could be a very, very early finish. I think Mayweather will come out on top and win that fight. Yeah, we're concentrating obviously on the boxing again. We've got Evander Holyfield and Danny Williams in the Lancastrian Suite in Gateshead. That's on the 18th of September. Tickets for that are available from www.wraithpromotions.com. VIP tickets are still available for that at £100. Entry only tickets just to come and see Evander Holyfield give his views on boxing and his career are still available at £30. And then after that, the back end of the year, we have Chris Eubank coming to the Lancastrian Suite in Dunstan on the 1st of November. Details and tickets about that will be released on the website at a later date.